What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And a quick reminder, make sure to play Beyond Two Souls and Rayman Legends, both offer free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back the other month for Plus Club. Let us know what you thought of those games. We'll let you know what we thought of them. And our game of the month is Portal Knights. Make sure to play that as well. We'll talk about that at Game of the Month at the end of the month as well. Also, make sure to join the Discord down below. Hit the link. Talk to us whenever the hell you want to. Post some memes. Say a bunch of random shit. I don't care. And we're also on iTunes and other podcast things out there. There's like 5 or 6 of them that we're on. So just search us up if you want to listen to us, not watch us. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, thanks for listening. And make sure to check us out on YouTube if you want to see what we look like. So with that, we have 4 bits of news, all pretty interesting. So it's nice to get some news. I guess we'll be getting a lot here soon, though, at E3 or E3. So, so let's get into it. First bit of news.
So speaking of E3, yet another leak has come out, and a controller being made by Microsoft has been leaked, and it seems to be for people with accessibility needs. I'm not sure if we'll have an image for you guys this show, but essentially it's just a giant... well, I don't know if it's giant or not, but it's a white box with your D-pad and Xbox menu buttons and whatnot on the left, and then 2 giant buttons on the right. And it's speculating that the 2 large buttons are A and B, and they're probably going to be programmable. What do we think about the controller? And I guess another leak coming out.
You know, I went to GameStop this morning, and I went to go get my Duke controller. If you guys don't know what that is, it's the original Xbox controller, has a screen on it. Went in there today, and I was like, I'm going to get my new controller. I'm going to do like an unboxing and show people if it's worth even getting, blah, 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 blah. I go in there, and there's the chick behind the register just on her 3DS. And she's just playing it. And there's a guy on the other side of the desk just staring at her. And I'm standing in line, and she's just... and he's just watching her. And I sit there and I look, and I gotta go to work while I'm waiting. I'm looking at my watch the whole time, and fucking about 5 minutes later, she looks over and she's like, oh crap, I guess I gotta restart. What kind of phone is this? And he's like, it's a 6S. She's like, oh. And she's restarted, and then she went back on her 3DS and kept playing it. I wanted to take a picture and put that on the internet. I was like,
probably should have.
Yeah, and like tag like GameStop on Twitter. It was so fucking ridiculous. So I can get that controller, which fucking sucks. Sorry for bringing that up, but we're talking about Xbox and controllers, and I thought of that, and I was like, that was so annoying. So that'll be coming soon. Anyway, outside of the anecdote that I just told, this looks really interesting. The first thing I think of though when I look at it, and obviously, I'll have a picture up here for you guys to check it out, but It looks like what you described, what they say it is, but it also looks like those are going to be haptic feedback pads. It looks like you're going to be able to put your fingers, or if you have some other like disability that you don't have that functionality, you'll be able to put your hands in there and maybe use these as analogs.
Oh, maybe.
And maybe be able to push down.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me, because they're really big. They are indented to look like you could, like, you know, if you had like you're missing fingers or a missing hand or whatever, you could still put your like arm on there and move it around as a joystick and push down for maybe some kind of input. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. Also, if you look at the very top, you guys aren't gonna be able to see it very well. There's a lot of symbols, and I don't know what they mean. So I don't know if those are like inputs for swiping that might be telling you how to use different commands on a controller. If any of that's true, and if it's not true, and they have other ways that this is used, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, it's very cool. Xbox and Microsoft has been like really adamant about accessibility for people who typically don't have accessibility playing games, and I think that's awesome. I'm not the demographic, and you know, neither of us are, but there's a lot of people out there like, I can't even imagine if I couldn't play video games.
Yeah, well, we always make the joke that we'd rather lose our legs than our arms.
That's not even a joke. I would lose a leg before I lose my hands, just because I do so many things with my hands, and gaming is a huge factor in my life, in our life. I mean, we do a fucking show where we talk about video games every week, so I mean, we're really into it. So, just putting myself in that place, you know, there's a bunch of people out there who play stuff regardless really well. It's amazing. But seeing something like this that is taking newer technology and being able to give them that accessibility. It's awesome. So yeah, I hope I'm right in the way it works, because that'd be really fucking cool.
Well, and it's funny, after you said that, it does kind of look like that as well. They are. I forgot to mention this. I apologize. They're going to have an official announcement on this anywhere between now and E3, so that'd be for them June 11th. They apparently have also won an award before for doing this kind of stuff.
The Helen Keller Award.
Yeah, because the eye technology they added to Windows 10.
I forgot what that's called.
Yeah, I don't know, but and we've said this a million times. Microsoft in their hardware game, top notch, man.
Oh yeah.
And it's awesome that they're thinking about a demographic that obviously more often than not is getting ignored,
Underrepresented.
Yeah.
For sure.
So this is great. Props to Microsoft for this. It's I always like seeing companies do this kind of stuff, and it's usually the third party accessory people, or like some random person who happens to work there, and they're like, oh, it's a project, I'll just take it on myself type thing. We've seen that in the past as well. In fact, we know a guy who only has one arm, and he plays a lot of games with like either an arm and a foot or both of his feet. So it's crazy. So yeah, but anyways, it's
really
awesome.
impressive.
Yeah.
It just shows that if you want to play a game bad enough, you'll try and find a way to do it.
Yep,
so
for sure. And you got companies out there actually thinking about you, so that's awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait to see this come out. I'd be curious to even try it, because I think it's kind of neat, and I'd like my Duke controller. GameStop.
GameStop employee.
Yeah, GameStop employee that was too busy playing your fucking. I know it's a game store, but like,
Mostly.
Yeah, while she's sitting there like resetting a phone, lecturing this guy, and you really shouldn't have reset this at home. We do that. As she's sitting there playing her game, she didn't even acknowledge me. I'm not even like a self-entitled person, but I was like, this is so bizarre.
It was bad customer service.
It was bad. Yeah. It was fucking bad. Anyway, anything else you want to say on this?
Nope. It's awesome.
Let us know in the comments below. What do you think about this? Do you think my theory is correct? Do you have your own? How do you think this will work? Are you excited for people to be able to use this? Would you use this? And yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to this leaked controller. Second bit of news. Okay, guys, I have really bad news for you guys, as I know a lot of our community is Monster Hunter fans. Paul W.S. Anderson of the Resident Evil, all the movies fame, has gotten the rights to direct the Monster Hunter movie starring Milla Jovovich, also from Resident Evil. She's been in a lot of other things too, of course, like Fifth Element, all that shit. But they're married. They're a team. They worked on Resident Evil, and this is something he's been wanting to work on for a long time, since 2012. The budget is said to be $60 million, which is actually very low for a movie like this. And back in 2012, he said that his idea would be the film focusing on an average American who is yanked into a parallel world filled with monsters. Then eventually the parallel world ends up coming to our world, so you have the creatures from Monster Hunter World invading our world. I'm not going to go into other details. What do we think about a Monster Hunter movie? This Monster Hunter movie? Paul W.S. Anderson, Milla Jovovich, any of this? $60 million?
I mean, I'm probably not going to see it. It's not even interesting to me. The concept is so stupid. I'm not surprised though. These guys, did it with Resident Evil. They're going to do it with Monster Hunter. They're going to, possibly make an action franchise that
definitely
non-game players are going to be into. Maybe some game players, but for the majority of us who actually care about the franchise, it's going to be garbage. So, I don't really have a whole lot more to say on that. It sucks.
It bothers me because there's this stigma that's been going around, and just wait, you'll see. I'll be right on this, but not to sound cocky, but same thing happened with comic book movies. Look where we're at now. People have the stigma that you can't make a good video game movie, and I'll fight that to the death, because I think it's stupid to assume that you can't take a story and make a movie out of it. It's dumb. That doesn't make any sense. There's already been some movies that have done a pretty good job, but could do better. But it's people like this that make that stigma have some weight to it, because what you have here is somebody who's taking a brand and its brand loyalty and its fan base, and they're depending on you to spend money on this name. They see some things in the game that they think are cool, but they're taking a shitload of liberties and like making their own thing that they think is going to be cool and hoping you'll buy a ticket because you like Monster Hunter. They did the same thing with Resident Evil. Uwe Boll, his whole career is that. And it's. I mean, I haven't seen a trailer for this, obviously, because it's not made yet. But I know it will not be good. Paul W.S. Anderson has never been a good director. And him and Mila Jovovich essentially survive off of making these movies. I mean, that's all they do. It can't be good. I can't. I don't think it will be. I mean, I could be surprised, but I doubt it. Especially when he's talking about this whole average American is yanked into a parallel world thing. That's not Monster Hunter. It sounds like that guy who's going to make the Uncharted movie, and he's like, my idea for Uncharted is going to be about this world-class family that no one fucks with, and these guys are treasure hunters, and they go and get the treasure. No one messes with this family. And it's like, that's not Uncharted. And he wanted Mark Wahlberg to be fucking Nathan Drake, and it's like, you guys are the reason why people think that there can't be good video game movies, because you got assholes who don't play the games fucking just banking off the name. They don't respect it. They don't give a shit about it. They just want you to buy a ticket. And it's ugh. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's very rare that somebody actually has any connection with the game outside of maybe like the writer might have played it, but then the director's like, oh, fuck it. Let's just make this movie. Oh God, it sucks. But it might be good. I don't know. And someone might find enjoyment out of it when it comes out. I hate this. It's and like I said, 60 million, this movie's going to look like shit. It's going to be highly dependent on CGI. You're not going to do a very good CGI movie with 60 million, especially these guys. They've never produced anything of like high caliber. It's also being backed by a German film production company, Constantine Films. They've done some stuff. So yeah, not excited for this at all.
Not at
and
all.
I think this only taints video games into movie adaptations. It's just gonna put another fucking negative notch on the belt. So, anything else you want to say on this?
Stop.
Yeah. Unless you give a fuck about the video game and you're very adamant about it, don't fucking touch it. I know there's some fucking real quick money to make there, but it's fucking annoying. I don't even know why I'm saying that. The money talks, so that's all that matters. But yeah, we had shitty fucking comic book movies for a long time, like 30 years. And then finally, someone finally nailed it. And then now this happened where we have so many comic book movies. It's crazy. So that will happen with video games. It'll be the next thing. Guaranteed. Let us know in the comments. What do you think about a Monster Hunter movie? What do you think about this Monster Hunter movie? The only reason I separate that is if you were going to have a Monster Hunter movie, what would you want it to be? Let me know. Who would you want to direct it and all that stuff? And yeah, what do you think about this one? Do you think it's going to be good? What do you think about their version of the story about someone being taken to Monster Hunter World and then Monster Hunter World comes back? Like, a lot of these movies. Mario Bros. Did something like that, and it was fucking stupid. Let me know in the comments. Next bit of news.
So we spoke about E3 leaks last week, I believe, and one of them was finally confirmed. Bethesda has come out and said Rage 2 is coming out, and I believe
real.
As of this video airing, there will be an official trailer for the game. Right now, there's just a teaser with, I think, live action.
Yeah, and if there's enough gameplay there, we'll do a react video of it.
Right. So, but some notes to add on to that. They have a concept which is dive headfirst into a dystopian world devoid of society, law, and order. Rage 2 brings together a true open world FPS experience where you can go anywhere, shoot anything, and explode everything. It's also worth noting that the company working on this is Avalanche Studios in partnership with id Software. They made Mad Max and Just Cause. So what do we think?
Okay, this is really interesting because so when a game gets announced, there's always like a lot of hype for it. I've seen so much negative hype for this game. It's crazy. I've seen people put so much energy into going, this is a game, like this isn't even a game we need. Who wants this? Blah, blah, blah. I think it's really interesting because with this news, when they were saying that too, like there was no information about it yet, and they were saying that, and it's like now we're getting the news that Avalanche is working on it. This game's going to be good. They haven't made a bad game. Just Cause 3 is fun. Mad Max was fun. We actually did Plus Club on that a little bit ago. And that was the first thing I noticed. When they said Avalanche, I'm like, dude, this is going to be a fun game.
They've already tackled the style, too, with Mad Max.
Yeah, they just haven't done a first-person shooter, but they're working with it. I mean, this will be really interesting to see. Because there's certain things I'm worried about disappearing from the original Rage concept, but certain things that are definitely going to be beneficial. First off, an open world game where you're blowing shit up and shooting anything and all that stuff, it sounds like Just Cause to me, and Avalanche did that just fine. They also made Mad Max. This is very much thematically similar. Although the box art really reminds me of like Borderlands, and it's like colorful chaos.
Oh yeah.
So it almost looks like a Mad Max and Borderlands meetup thing, whereas Borderlands is already kind of like Mad Max. So it's kind of interesting. I hope they don't lose too much of the feeling of the original Rage, but it definitely is going to lose some because you have a different company working on it. And it seems like in the teaser they showed, which we're not watching because it's live action stuff, they are trying to advertise crazy chaotic stuff that very much the first Rage didn't feel like. But yeah, with that, the pedigree that it has, I'm hoping they'll maintain the great graphics, the attention to detail to environment, and the tight shooting controls, met with Avalanche's pedigree of open world, fucking full of content, and always fun games that they've made.
For sure.
So, I mean, like, this could be amazing or at the worst, good, in my opinion. I don't think this game can be bad.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned the people who are being so negative about it because they were very vocal.
It's crazy.
However, it was really refreshing on Twitter to see for every negative person, there'd be someone replying to them being like, I liked the other game. It wasn't perfect.
That was the thing that was
fun.
interesting, too. I was like, okay, wow, a lot of people did play Rage.
Yes.
It's nice because no one talked about it.
No, but obviously, like, enough people got their hands on it. And there was enough promise there. Like, it was such a, like, beautiful looking game.
Definitely.
It was definitely an id game when you played it. It just lacked content. That was really all it was missing.
And modern progression.
Yeah, and you have a company now who does that. I mean, even like Mad Max's was a little on the thin side, but it was still there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the car combat was awesome.
Yeah, and that's what Rage is about too, is the car combat. I mean, you get out of it obviously, and you do first-person shooter stuff, which is where id's gonna shine. So hopefully, that's gonna be id's contribution, that as well as like making the game gorgeous. So
it's funny though. The Avalanche worked on Mad Max, and I don't know who I think it's Debbie B.
Warner Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if they still have a contract with them or not. But it's interesting that they went from that and came over, and they're gonna start working on this. I wonder if they'll bring any of the stuff the ideas that they had for Mad Max and its car combat over to Rage too, because that would be cool.
I would be blown away if they didn't like have inspiration from their past projects in this game.
Because I mean that my favorite part of Mad Max was driving the cars and driving into people and shit. So I mean, like, it's kind of a perfect marriage with these two working on this.
No, I think so, because like, I mean, we've already kind of said it, but like, one company that does sandbox really well and content, and you got another company that can make a shooter.
Oh yeah.
So, and a beautiful looking game almost every time. So, and
especially with the last Wolfenstein that came out, and of course that was I forgot I forgot their name, but they're an id company. That game's awesome. I loved it. I'd love for you to play it. Like, it's so good. So they're really showing that they're still keeping that pedigree of high quality games, but they have brought it to the modern age.
Yeah,
because Wolfenstein 2, I didn't feel anything negative about it. I loved it, the whole thing. So.
Right. I've heard nothing but good things about the Wolfenstein series now.
It's very good. Way better than the first one. The first one was awesome. But yeah, this game I was already interested in because I liked Rage, and I would love to see it get a second chance. And now I'm more excited for it. I can't wait to see gameplay of it because I want to see just what it looks like. I already imagine what it's going to be like.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because these people like talking shit about a game that isn't even like remotely announced yet.
Barely even. We don't know even the concept.
How could you just come out and assume that they're just going to make the same game again? Even you know what I mean?
It was just
weird. It's been years. It's got the tech is there. Games have changed. They can learn a lesson. It's not like they're just going to be like, here's the same game.
Well, that's the thing is I was like, what if the game comes out and it's better than it was, or it's completely different, but it's so good you want to buy it. You're the guy who's like, fuck this game. I don't want this. I don't even know what it is, but I don't fucking want it. Who would want it?
I didn't ask for this.
And then it comes out and it's like amazing and everyone loved it. Like, why would you just instantly be like, fuck that game without even knowing anything about it? It's so weird to me.
Yeah.
I haven't seen people that vocal about something like that in a long time. I kept like going to the comments of things. People are like, why do we need this?
I
I'm
did
like,
notice a good
you
chunk
don't.
of those people were just kind of pissed off because it wasn't an Elder Scrolls announcement too, though. So
Yeah, that'll come and we'll all be excited for it. But we should welcome, lesser established games and
Right.
hope that they grow as well, because we want more games. For the most part, I struggle with all the games, but because there's so many of them. But I am excited for this.
for sure, I am too.
Let us know in the comments, what do you think about Rage 2? Are you excited for it? Did you play the last one? Is there hopes for this game being good? Did you like Avalanche Studios' other games? Let us know in the comments. Everything you're thinking about when it comes to Rage 2. And our last bit of news came out day of recording, kind of out of nowhere, but Boss Key Productions has announced that it's shutting down. Cliff Bleszinski, of Epic fame, Unreal, Gears of War, he owned the company, and he came out and said today, as of today, Boss Key Productions is effectively no more. 4 years ago, I set out to make a world-class video game studio, and I hired some of the best talent in the video game industry. They worked tirelessly to produce quality products, and while we had our ups and downs, I'd like to think we had fun doing it. Now, they formed in 2014. They are responsible for Lawbreakers. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. And Radical Heights, a very brand new battle royale game. He also said, unfortunately, Lawbreakers failed to gain traction. And in a last-ditch attempt, we scrambled to do our take on the huge battle royale genre with Radical Heights, which was well received. However, it was a little too late. As for what he says about his future in gaming, he's going to take a break for a while. He needs to focus on himself, kind of refresh, inspiration, spend time with his family, and something about his Aussie Teddy, who is slowly fading from them. So I'm assuming that's their dog, or what is that?
Australian Shepherd.
Yeah. So obviously he has some stuff on his mind, which I can understand. It's also worth mentioning on Twitter, there was a shitload of support from everybody in the industry, from saying, we can't wait to see what you do next. It was a good try. You guys did great. The company had amazing talent, to people extending a hand, namely, the guy from Gearbox, Randy Pitchford. He was saying he would love to partner with him at some point.
Oh yeah.
So
I also saw at least 5 studios tell those guys to put applications in.
yeah.
So
Typically what we always see, but the industry looks out for its own. And people were saying, in this industry, things can end like that, which has been seen for the last 8 years. What do we think about Boss Key going under very quickly out of nowhere? What do we think about the games Lawbreakers and Radical Heights going away, especially with Radical Heights just coming out? And what do we hope for in the future from Cliff Bleszinski and anyone who worked there?
Well, first off, it sucks. I'm sorry that you guys, weren't able to become financially at least stable to be able to keep the company running. It always, like we say a million times, sucks when people got to lose their jobs. But there's plenty of opportunities out there. I'm sure all of you will find work again. So good luck on your future projects. As far as Lawbreakers and Radical Heights goes, I haven't really seen a whole lot on Radical Heights. The couple people I've talked to, mainly you and Paul, have enjoyed it.
I liked it.
So obviously they were onto something there. The money just ran out.
Yep.
Which is a bummer. And hopefully even they can maybe just sell this IP off to someone else so they can keep getting worked on.
That'd be cool to see, because Radical Heights, I said when I tweeted him about this, I was saying that I loved Lawbreakers, and I thought Radical Heights had a promising future for sure. It just, didn't get to survive long enough to turn into something.
And the server's going to be on for a little while longer at the very least,
Yep.
they said. So Lawbreakers, I know was a quality game, but it just the timing that it came out and it just didn't gain any traction, and it just unfortunately was a bust. So yeah, as far as future projects, I don't think he's going to be gone for very long, to be honest.
I don't think
'Cause
so either.
Last time he did this, all of a sudden he's like, I'm starting a company.
Yep.
So he'll be back, and we'll look forward to see what your next project is. So
Yeah. One thing that was interesting too on Twitter is most people were super supportive, which I really like to see. But there were some people in there every once in a while I was like, can I get my money back? Like, where's my money at? Blah, blah, blah. And people were like, where's the money going to come from? They don't have it.
they're broke.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow. But I mean, I bought Lawbreakers, and yeah, it sucks. It's gone, but I haven't been playing it. It had some issues, and I think it came down to them not being able to make the decision of whether it should be a free-to-play game or a pay-to-play game, and then the long time they took to decide whether they were going to create or make it into a free-to-play game or not. And they were thinking about doing it, but they didn't do it. I think they waited too long on that. And then Radical Heights, like he said, they released it too late. And I don't even think they released it too late in like for the genre. I think for their budget. Yeah,
they
for
ran
sure.
out of money.
Yeah. So it sucks. It almost seems like pride got in the way of some of the success. They also didn't release Lawbreakers on Xbox, which I thought was a real dumb thing to do. But
Yeah, that was a mistake.
it's not my place to be telling people who run companies what they should be doing with their own shit. So, I just think it would have been a much better.
No, the more platforms, the better for
Yeah.
sure.
And people wanted it. I kept seeing people like, well, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? So I don't know what the hell is up with that. But yeah, this sucks. Like you already said, people lost their jobs, lose their jobs. And like I said, I liked both these games. I would have liked to see where they would have went. I liked Lawbreakers more than Radical Heights, but that's more my style of game. It just lacked progression, which is something I really need, and a lot of games offer. So it kind of put itself in its own place. As for Cliff Bleszinski, he's going to find work again. He could go work for almost anywhere. He's one of those legendary names in gaming. It's more so all the people that were under him that I'm concerned about, but I'm sure they'll do fine. But yeah, I'd like to see him come back at some point. Probably, I would assume, would work for somebody else, work with somebody else at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to want to start his own company again after this.
I'm sure stressful.
Because this has been a struggle, yeah. So
Also, the guy, the main producer of Radical Heights, fun little tidbit. He hit up Devolver Digital about a job.
Oh, really? That's funny.
That would be an interesting place to work, I'm sure, since they make crazy games. So
Even Steve from DE was in the tweets saying stuff. It was cool to see all those guys together, just supporting each other. But yeah, this sucks. It happens though. I was worried about it when Lawbreakers came out, so I just didn't expect it to be like overnight like this. I literally just checked my phone today and it was just like, yeah, they're done. I'm like, fuck, okay, that sucks.
sorry guys, the bank's dry. We got to close the shop. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say on it. It's just a shitty thing. I would have liked to see the games survive longer. And it sucks that the company went under, but it makes sense because they just did not find the success they needed. So
yeah, nature of the business, unfortunately.
Yep. Anything else?
No.
Let us know in the comments what do you think about Boss Key Productions going under. What do you think about Lawbreakers and Radical Heights? Do you hope they get picked up by somebody else? And what do you think about the future of Cliff Bleszinski and everybody else who worked at the company? And what would you like to see him work on in the future if you want to see him work on anything? But that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out my streams on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Make sure to hit the bell for notifications so you know when I go live. And yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until next episode, which will be this Friday for Tastecast, unless we do a reaction video for Rage 2. But until then, have a good week, guys, and take it easy.